since they have pink sheets to that effect, say a change, I can just say pink sheets are already banned. But making impacts be no big deal. Aside that, I think they've made mention of the fact that they have 140 constituencies they've won. That's in the parliament. But we've got the EC's record to be 136 as at the time afternoon or so. So if that is true, they should use the legal means. Okay, we shouldn't use violence. So I accept everything they say in their defense. I have not had any issue pertaining to violence because if I close from here, I need to drive home. Supposing there's violence,
we can't.
Good. So anything short of violence is not accepted. Let's short of violence. So let's just deal with the right thing. If they think they have the lawyers or the legal practitioners to handle the issue, why not? They should go to that direction. They should make sure the country is peaceful. And then the incumbent, they should be circumspect in their pronunciations. We watched the Minister of Information upon Krumai. We watch him. You realize that you see when two big animals are fighting, is the ground that suffers.
Yes.
They should stop. I've been telling you realistically, say.
May their soul rest in peace.
Sure.
The 3 people who were shot.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
You see, these are the vulnerable in the society. Today, you admire the beauty of John Mohammed's sons and daughter.
Yeah. Nice.
These people
family.
will not go and fight on a ballot paper or a ballot box.
Not at all.
So, sometimes, our leaders should also know how to control their people. Okay? Yeah. And even their speech. Because by words, we will act.
Sure, yeah.
It was the word from somebody who that incited the fans of the NDC to go to the EC's office yesterday. Okay, so our people, the leaders of these various political parties, should also learn how to speak, and especially in times like this. When there is pressure in the society.
Of instigation.
Yes.
Whatever he says today will make an impact. He said, "On one say, feel to na yanko kunto kwade de no na be den e be si na wanka ono so wanka so se de emfa mmara kwan so that I think that's the best option. Or say ye fa mmara kwan so na ye ne sese ye den ye man Ghana 2020 election see dey and yes it was 2012 ABC Penyana coach 2012 MPP for court said you be saying go see Ghana so mo court emra ufa mmara kwan so na say okay sada na akufado ka say no say ono ni court kan no enhyedan onyi ntum na emum verdict ne de obeye den obeje atum nti sa na tie ankoyi ma ode a o say we ne say fata men fa tu wa woni tia we sade no we di group of 5 outstanding constituencies a woni tia say bia benyan no say no kreso dia mumpe lawyer for ana legal practitioners if one part some more chachikata o monko farm so anko for no monko dey asem no ba men for two. That is one key issue also consider. Aside that, I think for the first time I've seen former President Mahama reading during a presentation. I haven't seen that before. Say, man, politics. Behind the scenes, I was saying some say politics. Me because say we did go there. That's a minute. I say we did. And go. Me can't say. As a no crazy there. It's based. It's not easy to invest in loss. A business. About on share. Now
they spent millions of dollars.
Aside they spent share. What you be loan credit number you? Obi cross investor be for first camera be buano. A cool year more appointment. More deals. And now cool ye. You see, the biggest problem I want to say, errors are easy. You can present it, and not necessarily someone because
so now the question is the EC was somebody forcing her to declare the results. You know the problem I have with the EC.
The earlier notice of man wrong.
Yes, fine. You said 24 hours.
Good.
If she had not come,
then
at 2 o'clock okay, at 2 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon. 2 o'clock Tuesday afternoon. You had 3 hours to. You brought a letter telling us that a statement telling us that at 5 o'clock you are going to declare the results.
Good.
The press conference she had at dawn on Wednesday morning, Wednesday dawn.
Done, yeah.
She said during that time she had not received all the results from the various regions.
Yeah.
So why then did you write to tell us that at 5 o'clock you were?
I want us to get this clear, Coach. The Electoral Commission is not an individual business. It's a state institution, okay? If you work there as a commissioner or any other individual there and you think you want to do something to favor somebody, it will affect you in the long run.
Yes.
So I don't say some positions
not
are there.
Necessarily affecting her or the institution alone. Everybody in the country.
Good.
Now, you
look
and
at
I,
what is going on.
We are here. You have to discuss this.
Yes.
Senka, no declare. You have to be here. People are eager watching us.
Look at the number of views on Facebook. I said,
yes.
Everybody wanted to know what is going to happen, and,
yes.
and it's critical. Don't forget, I always say, he had more than 6 million votes, Coach. And these 6 million voters are eager to know. They wanted him to win. That is why they voted for him. Remember, his vote from 2016 appreciated, whilst Nanado's vote got depreciated, which means he tasted.
I think they all appreciated, but
in this, by comparison to this year's election, the outcome.
In terms of percentages,
yes,
that is.
And we deal with percentage to win election.
Yes, and I'm saying the number of votes went up. Nanado had 5 million.
Good, both of them.
Yeah, but this year's election, they all had 6 million.
Some of us, including me myself, I wasn't expecting the vote the NDC had, because of incumbents' advantage. I wasn't expecting that vote actually, so it came to me as a surprise actually. I don't know of other political analysts. I was part of the people who believe that NDC may have a majority in parliament but lost the election.
Okay, I never saw that. I knew the NDC couldn't win this election, but that 1 million vote gap.
You saw a reduction.
Yes.
Obviously, and I think that is what we've all been anticipating. I was looking at a majority in parliament because I did a bit of. I always tell you that my research is only.
Let me go back to me.
Okay.
Esa.
Yes.
Yakotie, the flag bearer of the NDC and the leader of the NDC, Ose Onje Abato on the results and officially he has come out, and I think Ubi was here who NDC BIA who press conference nasi. Our then imagine by telling you say everybody is behind him. Some quick remarks on the press conference.
So then, first of all, I think that I want to touch on the speech itself. I think the speech itself was wonderfully crafted, and then his emotions towards the reading. I'm saying this because, first of all, personally, I'm not someone that would like to, condone anyone that will encourage violence or anything. But then the right thing must be done regardless. So I'm in a stage where I'm shocked. I'm shocked in the sense that seeing someone like Professor Jane Opukwajaman, knowing her personally and what she stands for, and seeing her behind Mahama in this particular address says a lot about the claims of the NDC.
But don't you think
this means that
she had not been around? Speculations. So she had wanted to stop all speculations by coming for the press conference.
So then, first of all, like what I said earlier, knowing her personally, I've engaged with her on several matters, on party matters and all those things. And then she is someone that, to me, she would never bend her credibility for anything, not even party. That is how prim and proper she is. With my engagement with her, that is how prim and proper she is. And then this has transcended to even her children. If you've had conversation with Dr. Kobno Pukwaji, or if you've had conversation with Kweku, you just get to know that this is how they were brought up and this is what they believe in. They believe in the right thing must be done and standing for the right thing, regardless where it comes from or who it's coming from. So to see her there, to me, as an NDC sympathizer, gives me a very strong signal that this is not the like what we will say, the normal kind of conversation or the normal rhetorics. But then this goes a long way to see that there is a lot of credibility with what the NDC is putting out there. So I think that the country is actually in for a very nice spectacle these days to come.
Ellis was saying, we've heard you people saying you've won the election, but you've not come out clearly to tell us the percentage you had.
So this is what I'm saying. So if you listen to the speech of the former president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, you would see that he made references to some peculiar regions and to some particular polling station and peculiar problems that happened there. So in as much as you would want to come and say that this and that are the figures, some of these things becomes stumbling blocks to why you can't give out results. Reason why in the end this is actually shocked. So if you listen to what Metal said, that he's actually shocked that there's a problematic result out there. So then, I mean, this is the case where His Excellency John Mahama said that they had polling stations in Bantama, some areas that even the number of verified voters from the BVD was not recorded. So in as much as you have pin sheets on things like that, it's very difficult for you to call it out because it leaves you in a limbo state, whether there's been some additions or subtractions sent to the coalition setup, or what is the fate of those numbers. And mind you, there is a lot of numbers that come from the Ashanti region, and Ashanti region becomes a determiner of an election. So if there are issues happening in the Ashanti region, there should be a lot of, and I mean, like there should be some kind of meticulous scrutiny on results that's coming from emanating from Ashanti region. I think this is some of the reasons why the NDC doesn't want to come out with any specific figure. Okay. Mind you, I mean, this is elections, and you don't want to come out and be like Jane, that would bring a number out and come back and then come and revise it. This actually shows that you're incompetent and you're not trustworthy, and you've lost your credibility, which I think the EC has done, even with announcing of the results alone.
Okay, let me ask this. With all that you people are saying you've won the presidential race, have not seen the NDC giving us one element of irregularity in the presidential election. All your argument has been based on parliamentary, and even today, I'd wanted to hear this presidential vote cast. There was this irregularity in it, but still the debate was on parliamentary. Is it because you people think you've won parliamentary, so definitely it correlates with presidential results?
Oh no, far from that. I mean, before we went to the runoff, I think in 2008, the NPP had won popular votes, majority of the popular votes, but has still lost majority in parliament.
Yes.
So that's not the case. Like what I said, if you take particular attention to the speech of President, the ex-president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, he made references to the fact of illegalities in Bantama in terms of BVD machines. When they tell you that the number of people who voted using the BVD machines or verified voters were not given out, this tells you that it affects both presidential and then parliamentary. And I mean, it's not rocket science that will tell you that in parliamentaries in Bantama, obviously the NPP will win. Yes. So I don't think that you need to explicitly state out that there's been irregularities in presidential before the attention will be drawn to it. Because if you read, I mean, the Ashanti region alone, gave the NPP almost 1/4 or almost 1/3 of what they had. I mean, they had 6 million, and Ashanti region alone was giving them 1.7 million. So if you're
Has
having
this not
irregularities
happened
as a
before?
place, hello,
Has this not happened before?
it has. So I'm saying that. So if you're having issues about irregularities of such manner happening across various polling stations in the Ashanti region, this should tell you that all of these irregularities are pointing towards the presidential and not the parliamentary. I mean, in the parliamentary seats, I mean, the NDC just won one extra seat in the Ashanti region, and an independent candidate won one. So this has nothing to do with it. This has nothing to
Let
do
me
with
chip in this.
parliamentary.
Let me chip in this. With the parliamentary in Ashanti region, I think one of the things we are all waiting for is the resignation of Chairman Untimi. Are you waiting for that? Because he said it
I think,
publicly that if he couldn't make the 47, he will resign. So we are just hoping that he.
I think Chama Utumi is a very interesting character. It's a very interesting character. I mean,
Okay,
with
so
this, with
you
this.
see, with the 2012 election, when we were going into, or when the MPP went to court, they made it clear that in the case of presidential results, there were places or polling stations that recorded overvoting, okay, and some pink sheets were added, some were. Now, I'd wanted the NDC to make claims that with the presidential race, there are certain results that you people have problems with, but all the argument is based on parliamentary. So are you people have enough evidence that there are certain polling stations where you people recorded overvoting?
So if I'm going to make reference to the speech of His Excellency the man because
Yes.
this is one that both of us can actually pinpoint to have as a reference point. So if you really recall, he mentioned Eastern region that the figures that were sent to the office in Accra was different from the pink sheet that all of the agents signed. You are going to be someone who is very who is very attentive to social media. You get that there's a pink sheet circulating where figures were signed that included the representative of the NDC was different from one that was signed by all other agents except for the NDC for the regional what's the name for the regional results or certification results for Eastern region, and the one that was signed without the consent of the NDC agent was what was published on the NDC website. So this goes along with the NDC is just trying to say that, you know what, we don't want to come and make a lot of answers and make a lot of evidence. But the long one, I mean, when you go to the court of law, I mean, there's supposed to be what's the name, a time for the counsel to prepare their defense on everything. So if you end up showing all your arsenals, so let's say you're going to fight someone, and then you end up showing people all the arsenal that you have. I mean, what makes you powerful then? What makes Israel the most nation in the world when it comes to war? It's because they don't bring out their ammunition and their arsenal. So it's very important to conceal information. Concealing information is one of the vital things to do when it comes to fighting in the law courts.
I have Be Great on the line. We have some few minutes to end this program. Be Great. Mami Musa, with the Supreme Court, okay, almost 42 days, no external party could join. It's only the flag bearer of a particular party who can go to court. Emma, yeah, in Konfobenya, will people have that kind of faith in the Supreme Court that they are going to do a yeoman's job?
Well, thank you so much, Coach. I mean, before I come to your question, I don't know if I can have some minute to, touch on one or two things that I'm mentioned. You see, the challenge that I'm kind of having with the NDC's position, not entirely the entire position, but the challenge that I'm having with their position is one. You see, they are claiming that if you listen to Sami Jenfi very well in the very press conference, Sami Jenfi mentioned that they've won 9 out of 16 of the regions that we have in Ghana. Now, if you listen to him very well, it then draws conclusion or you infer that he meant that because we've won 9 out of the 16, it means we've won the election. Now, they are mistaken, and the point is that when it comes to our elections, it is the presidential election, I mean, who wins is dependent on the popular vote and not on the regions that you win. That is the system we are using here. So before you win, we
Great.
look at the popular vote, and we look at the how much or in terms of percentage that you've won. So it is
Yes.
not the number of regions.
Yes.
Let
Yes.
me move on to another.
Hold on. Let me ask you this. Don't you think since 1992 till now, every party that wins an election
Mhm.
automatically wins majority of the regions?
No.
In
Check the history.
no, I'm coming.
No,
In
check the history. It
1996,
doesn't reflect like that.
I'm
Check the
coming.
history.
In 1998, or let me say
Okay.
2000,
Mhm.
President Jacob won 6 regions. Okay, won 6 regions. Out of 10, he won 6. So majority. I'm talking about majority of the regions. So if you have 10 regions and somebody wins 6, okay. In 2004, he won 6 regions. In 2008, Atamas won 8 regions. 2012,
Mhm.
John Mahama won 8 regions. In
Mhm.
2016, Akufo-Addo won 6 regions. And go back to 92 and 96, John Rawlings won 8 regions. So
Okay.
don't
So,
you think based on history, they are saying they've won 9? I'm not defending them because I know, as you said, the constitution said is 50 plus 1 of the valid vote cast, not
okay.
the number of regions, but maybe as the dynamics will go, we've won 9 regions out of 16. So definitely this can give a clue that we've won with popular vote.
No, when you do that, see, that is how come the NDC is making a mistake. When you do that, he makes a mistake. Now, the regions. Look at the regions that we have now. Look at the new regions that were created. Look at the size of the regions, and look at the population. Now, even the new regions or the regions as it stands now, it's like a Savannah in terms of landmarks. Savannah is larger, but look at the population in each of the regions. Now, if you want proper analysis, coach, let's pick each of the figures in terms of registered votes in each of the regions. Now, look at each region, the number of registered voters,
I know
and the
Ashanti
total
region
valid
had
vote
3
cast.
million,
No,
Greater Accra had 3.5. I get your point. I know.
yes,
I
no.
get that
Yeah,
point.
yeah, I understand. Yes, but see, let me make the point. The point that I'm making is that, for instance, when Asante region's result comes, it cancels about 4 or 5 of the smaller
4.
regions. Now, so if you win 9 regions and only one region comes to
Cancel.
cancel about 4 or 5 regions, you are left with how many regions? You are left with if it cancels 5, what it means is that
No,
you are left
it
with four
cancels
regions.
4.
Now these 4 regions, yes, it cancels 4. You are left with 5.
5.
Now these 5 regions, you now battles it out. So the point that I'm making is that you look at the population. For instance, Asante region, in terms of the difference between NPP, the presidential NPP and NDC, Asante region, opened the gap of 1.1,
Because
about
my
1.1
viewers are saying they can't
million.
see you.
So the point
They
is,
can hear your voice, but they can't see your face.
oh, okay, let me try and position myself. And see if
Because I know you
it
have a
will be clear
girlfriend,
now.
so the girls are not worried, but the guys are
No,
worried.
I mean, is it clear now? I know, but the lighting is quite poor here. I don't know whether
No
it's
problem. No
clear.
problem. It's okay.
Well, so the point that I'm making is that you see, it's about the popular votes. So you will have a situation this year, for instance, Asante region and Volta region had a lower turnout. That is fine, and it means both regions, the stronghold, the point I'm making is that so far the vote, right, and the total number of votes that one person had is 50 plus 1. What it means is that it doesn't matter the number of regions. And you would agree with me
point well
that
made.
the total population in Ashanti region is larger, far larger
So,
than the
Bigre,
total
let's go to the
population
Supreme Court.
of the northern regions combined. So
Yes.
it is not about the number of regions you win. It
It's
is
true.
about the number of votes you win. That is the point.
So let's go to the Supreme Court.
So the issue of the Supreme Court. See, I think that the Supreme Court directive or their guidelines that they brought up, even though I mean it is not law in itself, but the argument that they are making is that in 2012, for instance, the first time we had elections going to the Supreme Court, what happened was that the country for 8 months was in court. Now, knowing very well the effects of that situation, the Supreme Court now comes to say that let's make sure that at least we use or so to settle the issue.
I think it's right.
Itself helps to.
Don't you think it's pretty mental?
I think
Yes.
no, it's not. It's not. But see,
No,
it's not because
Okay, let me build my
we all
argument
want
here.
that
If we bring Chikata
Okay.
into this, because I think he delayed in the 2012. If you bring Chikata
the
into
2012,
this,
yeah.
and he tries to use 3 weeks, 4 weeks, that's what it is for the cross examination. If he's not done, and you stop him because you said you are using 42 days, like what Jane Mensah did, don't you think people will start will become skeptical about your posture?
Well, that is very true. I mean, that is very true. Then, but you see, the point that I'm making is that we all want a fast-tracking process. We have had issues where politicians complain about how issues delay when it goes to court. This time around, the court is saying that you see, we must make sure we fast-track the process. Now, let me tell you one way in which the process can be fast-tracked, or I mean, it can be possible. You remember that the Supreme Court is saying that now it is not everyone who can. You remember in 2012, we had a situation where people coming in to the court as amicus curiae, that is a friend of the court, asking the court to be its friend, right, in the case. Now, so what the court, and that delayed because at that point, the lawyers for both parties now have to go cross-examine all the. Now, in 2012, what happened was that NPP itself was a party to the case. Jake Otanka Obichebelamte, who was the chairperson of NPP, was a party to the case. Now, NDC was a party to the case. Individuals like Asedin Ketia was also a party to the case.
Oh no,
So
Asedin Ketia was not a party.
He wasn't a party. Now,
it was John
Mahama.
Mahama, and the NDC said John Mahama did not go.
It's a precedent
For independence, okay. So
okay.
Mahama, automatically you've sued the NDC.
The party, yes.
So they joined the case.
Okay, yeah. So what I'm saying is that these individuals coming in to join the case because at the point, lawyers for both sides had to cross-examine. I mean, these individuals like Baumia and all those people who came into the scene. So the court is now saying that let it be the parties.
Okay.
Who are
I'm
so
coming. Let me make this
if
thing
NDC
clear.
is going to court, let it be NDC, and the only person NDC can sue should be the EC and the government.
Let me make it clear. In 2012, we had 3 groups of people doing the cross-examination. We have the NDC. Okay, we had 4. We have the NDC, the lawyers for John Mahama. We had the EC and the NPP. Okay, I think if John Mahama is the only person who can go to court, but NDC cannot go to court, Mahama stood on the ticket of NDC. So if you say only the flag bearers, don't you think you are destroying democracy?
Oh, I'm not. I haven't read the manual per se, but I'm not sure they said the flag bearer. What I want to believe is that
only flag bearers
mentioned the
can
party,
come to court.
that is what it mentions.
Yes.
I mean, you have the manual, and that is what it mentions.
Yes.
Because I haven't read the manual in particular. Now, but even if that is what it says, that only John Mahama. Now, it means that whatever evidence NDC will have, it can still be given to Mahama. Mahama can advance that argument in court. Because for all you know, when Mahama NDC's lawyers come to court, separate from that of John Mahama, it becomes the same rhetoric of repetition, repeating all that have been
Don't
said,
you
or the
think
argument
I
that
might
have
be,
already been
listen,
advanced.
I might be in the same party with you, okay? But we might have different thoughts. For example, we all saw how Tony Lita did his cross examination, okay? Then came Tachichikata, how he did his. There was, maybe, as you said, I will side with you when it comes to matters of competition. But they need something to stand on it because we are all fighting for our rights, okay? So I think, in the first place, with the days that the Supreme Court said 42 days, it wasn't something they should have done. Because you can't tell me the number of days I should need for cross-examination. I'm not a student of law. This is from my common sense. If it had been science, then I would have. But you, as a political science student, and somebody who graduated with a first class in political science, let me. I think when it comes to matters of law, you are far ahead than me. What I want to know is, don't you think it's prejudgmental and it weakens democracy when you govern democracy with time bound?
No, Coach, I'm not sure the NDC itself. You see, even Cross Montana would not be happy to have a situation where a case in this case NDC sends a case to court. It takes 1 year or 1.5 years for the case to be decided. I'm not sure the NDC itself will be happy. What then they will do is that they will accuse the court of delaying the process for the president to serve his term. That is what they will do. Now, the point that I'm making is that if you look at democracy, and its consolidation, one way to consolidate the gains of democracy is to make sure that the systems of government all work very well and work effectively. Not just that, but make sure that results are delivered as soon as possible. It can be. So if over the years we have always been complaining, Coach, let me ask you, I know you have always been complaining about situations where cases go to court, right? And the court doesn't deliver as soon as possible. I know you've been complaining.
Justice delayed,
so
justice
this time around,
denied.
Yeah, yes. So if this time around we have an issue, not just any issue, an issue where one citizen feels that he has been cheated, where he feels that the rights of some Ghanaians have been critical issue, then the court mustn't sit on for a very long time because, as you mentioned, if it is delayed, some Ghanaians and candidates here will feel that he has been denied of justice. What do? The court must make sure that when issues come to their attention, they make sure that they address them and address them as soon as possible. So when it comes to the 42 days or so, I mean, deadline the court has given itself, I don't want to believe that if I mean the
I
lawyers
think
go to court and it demands that it goes beyond that, they will prevent the lawyers from doing that. No, they will do that. But the point that they're making is that a minimum of 42 to make sure that the processes are fast tracked. Cross Montana will be happy if NDC sends it to court today, and by
let me ask him if he will
1
be
month
happy.
or 2 months they get a result, and President
Can I
Mahama
come
is
in?
declared
Can I
as
come in?
Let me ask him if he will be happy. Cross.
So then, first of all, I would like to let's set things straight. Even in our local JCRs, I'm coming JCR because I think that Big Great and myself are in the University of Ghana. Let's even look at how our JCRs and our SRCs are run. When you see the SRC president, the legal advisor represents, but the SRC president doesn't see the SRC in general because the machinery that the president is the head of. But it still gives the president that right to also bring along his own personal lawyer. So, for example, when a case happened in the University of Ghana, I remember that when the EC was sent to court, I remember that during an election petition, there was the counsel for the defense, there was the legal advisor, there was also the lawyers of the EC. If you remember very clearly, when IO was what's the name, disqualified for the elections, there was 3 separate lawyers. Yes, the EC is a body that's supposed to be represented by the HRC, but then they still went ahead to bring their own personal lawyer. This shows you that in as much as the flag bearer is the leader of a party, he is not there on his own accord. I mean, nobody can just stand up and say that I want to put myself on the ballot paper. That person is not an independent candidate. That's one thing you should know. If it's an independent candidate who's going to court, then fine. You can say that independent candidate, please bring your lawyer. Just bring your lawyer and let's have the case settled because an independent candidate. But this is an individual running on the ticket of a political party. Do you know what that means?
Yes,
That means
Montana,
that
we do
the
understand.
followers of that political party would endorse that individual.
Okay.
If John Mahama today is supposed to stand for LGP, sympathizers of the NDC would not vote for John Mahama. So the party is very, very, very important.
I get it.
Let's not sideline and belittle what the party stands for and think that, I mean, the flag bearers can just walk and go in to represent the interests of the party because one may say that they are representing the party. Then what if today the party decides to say that, you know what, we don't want John Mahama again. We've shown him. What happens?
Montana, your final words.
Yes.
It's 10 o'clock.
My final words is that, first of all, what's the name? How do you even have this adage? Something denied is
Justice delayed,
is something denied. Justice delayed is justice denied. In as much as that stands, it also say that if it must be done,
it must be
done right and it must be done well. So this is an electoral petition. This is a court case that would affect over 30 million Ghanaians. And I don't think you can put a time bound on something that will affect over 30 million Ghanaians as compared to something that affects, like, let's say, 6 million Ghanaians or let's say 500 Ghanaians. I mean, there was a court case against the Minister of Finance on a matter of conflict of interest. And it took 2 years. And know what happened to the case after 2 years? It was thrown out.
You see now, so, Montana complaining about how long cases. I mean,
no, I think
I'm complaining about how long.
Montana's cases, if it affects just an individual, you can limit it with time.
No. The
but when it comes to
mentioned, it doesn't affect an individual because it deals with state coffers and it affects.
No, it affects the individual was sued. The individual was sued
because of no state money.
Conflict of interest. Of interest. Not even state anything. This also, and it took 2 years. And you think that a matter that affects the lives of and the fate of 30 million Ghanaians should be boxed into 42 days. Should be boxed into 42 days. I'm just saying that if we are going to have a rigorous process, a thorough one, and it's going to last for 42 days, fine. But then to put a cap on it, trying to tell the people of Ghanaians that, you know what, whatever the case may be, we will make sure that this is rubber stamped within 42 days. Then I have an issue with that particular verdict.
My last
problem.
My last word to you. In 2012, there was this phrase from General Isidun Ketia. Montana, do you still believe in it that any idiot can go to court?
Oh, like what I said, in our local balances, in 17 AC courts, we all agree to that. I mean, so if I say that you can go to court and any idiot or any person can go to court, I'm not trying to insult, but this is a local adage that we've accepted in our local balances for a very long time.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, so be sending like fear women and leave early. We are not saying that is the truth, or that, I mean, every woman on earth is bad, hence you should like literally fear women.
But for Delilah, you have to fear her.
Pardon? For Delilah, that we've accepted for all our lives. So like what I'm saying, I'm quite 17 years court. And I'm saying, if there are any discrepancies or anything, I mean, we can walk to the court. But when the court tells me that some of them courts are some bad, the 2 days when they bid, then I had a problem with the court.
Me say, mbane bena obu yes suru beni o se why na enyi ni
So be saying in church.
so we say emfa so oba bia but mba mienu we dey suru mo Delilah ni Jezebel.
Say some say the cocoa to the door so. And obi na me so die no I so ma misika but am fa ma me ntimi na cocoa. Ni en kwase asem me de ko.
Be great. Well, last words na.
Yeah, coach.
John Mahama
Coach.
press conference and then BBR now is cleared. They will be going to court. Because I say they are getting their lawyers and they are to study the pink sheet, then they move on. So your final words in just a minute. Then Saturday, Saturday we have ample time to discuss everything. Then we bring our election to an end.
Yeah, coach, I'm even wondering why we are having the discussion of the court in the first place, because John Mahama in the press conference wasn't so explicit to tell us that he is going to court, although he said that all options are on the table. And Montana again hasn't been able to tell us that they are going to court. I mean,
but he said
even though
the council will be going through the pink sheet to study the pink sheet, okay? But if the council will be studying the pink sheet, what are you going to the King's Palace?
My issue with the whole process of the end is that now. Hello, coach.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Hello.
I'm listening.
So my issue is that, you see, I understand. I said it before the elections, right? That in this election that we were going, NDC had a strategy. The strategy was very simple, and the duty was very simple. The strategy was to get a majority in parliament, because they knew that when it comes to the presidential, they had low chance of winning. But the strategy was to win parliamentary. If you remember, 5 days or 4 days to the elections, President Mahama retreated and mentioned that NDC wants a majority seat of 143 to 145, because based on the study that they have done. So simply, that was a strategy. And again, with all the press conferences that they've had so far, have come to reinforce this strategy that they had. So even if you look at, and it's good that you yourself mentioned it, just this ended press conference that they did, President Mahama emphasized and re-echoed on their win. I mean, they supposedly win majority in the parliamentary, but he failed to mention that of the presidential. So you see, the strategy of the NDC is that no, let's win, let's go for, I mean, parliamentary. For the presidential is lame, right? But let's go for the parliamentary and make sure that we frustrate the other side and we win. So basically, that has been. But I think that the best way for the NDC is to go to court, as they showed the MPP the way in 2012, or there's another option in 1992, the NPP led by Edupuahim, after they had lost the presidential election, decided to boycott the parliamentary election, of which during that year, the 200 parliamentary seat was filled by the NDC and its pro parties. So the NDC
but at that time they were not majority. The Edupuahim's MPP, they were not majority in parliament.
No. But even at that time, that election hadn't been
NDC
conducted.
The 140, what they claim, 140 will boycott parliament when they have hold of legislature.
But you see the issue is you tell us 140, but you never mention to us which seat and which the EC brought the result out, and all
but
projections.
They've declared.
Oh no, but all project. You see, coach. You see, sometimes, let's be frank, Joseph. So can the NDC, right, be the only person to be right here, and all other individuals, including the EC, including almost, 5 or so media houses in this country before, because Joy FM, City FM, and all media houses, including the EC itself, have declared that it is the NPP that has 137. NDC had one. I mean,
they can be wrong too.
Everybody
all can be wrong.
So no, I'm coming. So
But this
everybody
on
can be
EC, which
wrong.
has revised its
No.
numbers. Oh,
No,
be great. Let's
everybody
be
can be
serious with
wrong.
this commission. I
Everybody
think we
can be
can call
wrong,
a spade a
and
spade.
NDC alone
This
can be
particular
right.
EC
Yes.
Come on.
has
Be
revised
great.
its
Be great.
figures,
Listen.
has had
I can
mathematical
give you.
errors. I mean, how can you even defend the EC at this time?
Montana.
No.
Hold on.
No.
Be
I'm not
great.
defending the EC.
Be great.
But the point that I'm
I
So why
making
is
can
is
it
give
that
so
you.
who is declaring?
no.
Is it the same
Can
EC which has been very
can everyone
habitual
be
in
wrong,
its mathematical
or
calculation?
all people be wrong, and only the EC, the NDC being right in this contest? It
It is
cannot be
possible.
possible. That
Where are
It
they
is.
taking the figures from? Where are they taking
It
it
is.
from the same flawed EC people?
Okay, for now.
Where are they taking from the same
great.
flawed EC?
Be great.
That this EC could even make its own projections right. That have to come back to reverse figures.
Montana,
Is
I'm
the same
coming.
EC you are looking at?
Montana, I'm coming. Hold on. What I want to tell Be Great is, it's possible, okay, in the sense that
everyone is wrong and only the NDC is right.
It was
And
one
I'm
person
saying that-
who I'm coming. It was one person who said,
Oh, by no.
oh, you listened. It was one person, I think Galileo Galilei, who said the world was not flat, it was a sphere. All the great scientists who lived before Galileo Galilei said it was flat, and people believed until they manufactured or invented a telescope, when they got to know that it was spherical in nature. Professor Stephen Hawking predicted the gravitational waves, and they were teasing him just last 2 years. They found out that it's true. They just confirmed that it's true. People can be wrong. So the fact that 100 people are saying it doesn't make it right. It makes it popular, but it's not right.
So you hereby say that the NDC is right, and
I'm not saying they are right because I don't have the document.
No.
But
Yes.
your argument you are making, and I'm telling you that for that argument, I can tell you what you are saying might not be true, because if all are saying red, and I'm saying
that is fine.
yes.
Well, that is fine. But coach, are you not worried? Are you not worried that the NDC has all the evidence, but are failing to do the right thing? That is, failing to visit the right quarters, and now doing press. The press, you see, the same press that in the afternoon Asia Dinketia chastised and said that they were churning out wrong figures. They are the same press that today you call and to give them your feedback.
I'm actually shocked with the utterances. So don't you understand what we call public opinion? You know that you have to take public opinion, and then you have to make sure that there's a public opinion about things before you even head to court. Or you don't understand. So I feel like people want to act oblivious of what politics is and what political systems are and what the system is supposed to call for. So when individuals like yourself are coming out to chant such arguments that they should do the right thing nicodemously, it's funny. It's very funny, but I feel like you don't appreciate what the rudiments of politics.
So in essence, you want the sympathy of the people, right?
We don't want sympathy of the people. I'm just telling you that don't come out and then act as if when it comes to electoral cases and when it comes to things that have to do with petitions, it has to be done nicodemously. I mean, let's even compare ourselves to the oldest democracy in the world. Trump is going to court, but yes, so started with what? What did he start with?
He started with tweets. He was tweeting.
And what was it for? Was it for public opinion? Was it to shake the public about it?
Yes.
Why don't people understand the rudiments of politics and always want to feel like
before people understand the rudiments of politics, I think we can end it here, because I've been notified by my technicians and my producers that the time is up and we need to close. Saturday morning, I know definitely I'll get the two of you. You come, then we debate again.
Charlie, Montana, please, your money. Please give me some. Give me some.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much for having me on your show. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Let me end with Felix. I said Felix. Ellis, Ferdinand. You know, these politicians, when we leave them, they can talk. I said 30 minutes, and now we've done almost 1 hour.
Yeah.
Almost 1 hour. So the next 2 minutes,
I
your
think
last words.
I wanted to give some rebates, but we already tied.
We have to, you are going to La Paz. I'm going to campus.
I think Saturday. Yeah, go on. Say voice now. God willing, Saturday or say, oh, coach. Saturday we will look at it. But I love their submissions.
Yes.
Let me say something. For the past month, I've come to realize that it was not always necessary bringing in quote the big men on radio shows.
Yes.
You know why? Whilst they were, I was quite listening to the argument.
Yes, I saw you.
I realized that look, we have very intelligent young people. That is why I hate it when I hear somebody say, "Oh, Sami Gimfi is just a small boy." My guy.
We've limited wisdom and knowledge
To age.
Where from that?
I listened to for the discussion, I don't want to talk again because Saturday is there. But the kind of people we are bringing on board,
The points they were building.
I asked myself, so where are these people?
Okay, let me tell you. These two people graduated with first class.
No doubt, anyway.
Political science. Kudus, the Abdul Kudus. I think he should have joined the show. He was the best student in their time, I think 2016.
Look at General Sami.
General Sami was the best political science. All the political science
I think
students
one
abroad,
day
they all graduated with
on the forum,
But yeah, dear.
I'll bring them.
Yeah, let me find check and say, Charlie Yayira Kiki, the general managers, and I can't say, she's watching. I say, great job, coach. More fire. Kiki doesn't sleep. I don't know.
Yeah. She's just.
I don't know if she's nocturnal or she'd add work. Or not.
But coach, I say worry.
I worry the one here.
But then she said, "I am worry boo."
We are sitting over.
Eh.
Also the Nindima.
Yes.
Obia or your boss.
No credit. And the Enche Kunti, no credit. And the Kunti worry we are not I am the boom.
I may walk my friend, my papa, some mechiano. Was now they own for bam, just say own for being by some girlfriend.
No credit.
I'm so girlfriend about next 2 years. I say, hey, I didn't put your men. I Joseph and son, me, yeah, Joe, was Joseph and son, dear, maintenance one of my son. Yeah, Joseph. I say summer radio, more word you my pa. But me to my lamp for the you need bria, sir. Nanetia said him. Yes, Ram. I am on block of free.
Nanetia. And also, no, say, no, Pepper,
I know my adverts.
That's how they found social media.
That is the end. Another great show.
Bending.
Post-election declaration analysis.
Yeah.
You heard from Joshua Nitaki Asa, the former president of Mensa Sabah Hall, and also from Osireko Kobe Great. He's the former PRO for the University of Ghana Student Representative Council, that is UGSRC, and also the secretary for Pentecost Students Union Association, that is PENSA. And they are all students of political science.
That's great.
Ellis Ferdinand, the guy who just had admission to read MPhil, is it in politics or communication?
Curriculum and pedagogic studies.
MPhil, UCC for
UW.
UEW, Sebaya MPhil.
Research now.
Yes.
Because research no say.
Guess no what here and guess where small or quiet MPhil. M na ya filling am na ya ma. I don't need to from the capital M. Masters of philosophy. What's it kind of say? Research in the
curriculum and pedagogic studies.
Pedagogic. Shut up. Me producer and then me DJ Million Mustafa and
but in Shankoma DJ Louis, so I don't know
where himself. Ono was say coach, yapon. Ono a producer, kum technician, kum Ken, kum Bibia. I am Ken Josie. In Chaka Sankoma, do a share Jumedia, Mr. Emmanuel Achute, was in a home for no. The wishing a speedy recovery, the general manager for Nano Media. And on the boy home by Mr. Eric Nati, the general manager for Nananum group of campaigners. Anna, there were no on your friend or see a dear or see a dear. So I'm for Consoya, Miss anyone or no, your friend or Doctor Nanaya Obey. nkyɛn kɔma ɔmo nyinaa ɔkyena yamba Saturday morning 8 to 10 yɛde the forum and all these guys will be on board to help us finish with the post-election analysis. Your friend me, come my boy Mara Chute. Your friend me, Coach Ali. Don't friend me, Supreme Sultan. I am the Sultan of Aguazu Palace. Bye bye.
Bye bye.